Hello, this is part three of listening section, and I will tell you how I will prepare myself to do it, or in the way, how is this suggestion that you should also do it. And if you need coaching, you can call me on my telephone number. And I also offer coaching classes at the academy. So part three, in this, you can see there are two students, Ruth and Ed. Okay, this type of projects are not given here in Pakistan. It is not the part of Pakistan education. Okay, where boy and girl they work together on a project. They collect information and they present it to other students. The other students raise questions and it's a kind of teaching. Okay, when you give a presentation, that means a kind of teaching to the students, or a training how to speak, how to teach. That's a real purpose of education, I believe. Anyway, these type of projects are not given here, which are to conduct research or give the opinions. Now I am going to start what conversation they have. Ruth and Ed. I am, I wanted to have it bold a little. So this much is good enough. So this is Ruth and this is Ed, okay? Ruth says, Ed, how are you getting on with the reading for our presentation next week? Ed says, well, okay, Ruth, but there is so much of it. Ruth, I know. I hadn't realized the birth order was such a popular area of research. And but the stuff on birth order and personality is mostly unreliable. From what I have been reading, a lot of the claims about how your position in the family determines a certain personality traits are just stereotypes with no robust evidence to support them. Ru says, okay, but that's an interesting point. We could start by outlining what previous research has shown, and there are studies going back over 100 years. Ed says, yeah. So we could just run through some of the typical traits like the consensus seems to be that oldest children are generally less well adjusted because they never get over the arrival of younger sibling. Rose, right. But on a positive note, some studies claimed that they were thought to be good at nurturing, certainly in the past, when people had larger families, they would have been expected to look after the younger ones. And says there isn't much clear picture of middle children, but one trait that a lot of the studies mention is that they are easier to get on with than older or younger siblings. It says generally eager to please and helpful, although that is certainly not accurate as far as my family goes. My middle brother was a nightmare, always causing fights and envies of whatever I had. And says, as I said, none of this seems to relate to my own experience. I am the youngest in my family, and I don't recognize myself in any of the studies I have read about. I am supposed to have been a sociable and confident child who made friends easily, but I was actually terribly shy. Haru says, really, that's funny. There have been hundreds of studies on twins, but mostly about nurture versus nature. And here you see, I'll have to adjust myself. And Ed says, there was one personality which said that a twin is likely to be quite shy in social situations because they always have their twin around to depend on for support. Andrew says, my cousins were like that when they were small. They were only interested in each other and found it hard to engage with other kids. They are fine now. They are fine now, though. Ed says only children have had a really bad press. A lot of studies have branded them as loners who think the world revolves around them because they never had to fight for their parents' attention. Truth says that does seem a bit harsh. Uh, One category I hadn't considered before was the children with much older siblings. A couple of studies mentioned that these children grow up more quickly and are expected to do basic things for themselves, like getting dressed. And says, I can see how that might be true, although I expect they're sometimes the exact opposite, playing the baby role and clamoring for special treatment. Here, this is, you'll have a little break to read the rest of the questions, and the conversation will start once again, and you'll be ready to to do the rest of the tasks. Okay? Ruth says, what was the problem with most of these studies? So do you think? Ed says, I think it was because in a lot of cases the data was collected from only one sibling per family who rated him or herself and his or her siblings at the same time. Bill says, some of the old research into the relationship between birth order and academic achievement has been proved to be accurate, though. Um, Performances in intelligence tests declined slightly from the eldest child to his or her younger siblings. This has been proved in lots of recent studies. Here, for the first time, I have got clear about the birth order. Birth order means that who come the mm, uh, the first child, the second child, third, and fourth, and fifth, or whatever it is. So this is the birth order. Here they mean to say those who are born earlier, they have some responsibilities and they have some cares as well. And the following, the younger brothers, sisters, so they are to be attended by elder brothers, sisters, or something like that. Sometimes the parents are they get so busy that they don't pay much attention to them. Things like this, but they are not usually mentioned in our everyday society or very nominally. So that's not a big issue. We maybe it is an issue, but we never care about it. So I'll continue the conversation. Truth says, yes, although what many of them didn't take into consideration was family size. The more siblings there are, the likelier the family is to have a low socioeconomic status, which can also account for the differences between siblings in academic performance. Thus saying the oldest boy might be given more opportunities than his younger sisters, or for example. Ed says exactly. Ed says, but the main reason for the marginally higher academic performance of oldest children is quite surprising, I think. It's not only that they benefit intellectually from extra attention at a young age, which is what I would have expected. It's that they benefit from being teachers for their younger siblings by verbalizing the processes. And she's right. And this gives them status and confidence. which again contribute in a small way into better performance. And so, would you say a sibling rivalry has been a useful thing for you? Blue says, I think so. My younger brother was incredibly annoying and we fought a lot, but I think this has made me a stronger person. I know how to defend myself. We had some terrible arguments, and I would have died rather than apologize to him. But we had to put up with each other, and most of the time we coexisted amicably enough. And says, yes, my situation was pretty similar, but I don't think having two older brothers made me any less selfish. I was never prepared to let my brothers use any of my stuff. Phil says that is perfectly normal, whereas and the conversation and continuation is disconnected here. Now let us go to the page where we can see um, the where the tasks are given. There is that next. Here we are, part three, question 21 to 30. And first, in the first part, you will attempt the questions 21 to 26. What did findings of previous research claim about the personality traits a child is likely to have because of their position in the family? Position in the family means being the eldest, the youngest, or in between. Okay, somewhere in between. So very often, and they say what is given in what paragraph. Paragraph numbering is given as A, B, C, or D, and same place. So you can see if you are quick and very quick to grasp that. If you do it, that you will have to identify the paragraph. So you are making a big mistakes. So don't do that. Okay, be very. And that needs some training. I don't say be very slow, be very quick, or like that. Here you see, have a quick look, that there's a box given, and the options are given as A, B, C, D. These are the options and not the paragraph, the personality traits. So we'll have to read which one is the most suitable to fill in the to mention here. For example, the eldest child, the option is caring, okay? The eldest child is caring. The middle child, option F, is given here, cooperative. Okay. Then we see middle child, the youngest child, option A, what is that? Outgoing. The um, youngest child is outgoing, and a twin. And, you see, twin is option E. Twin is introverted. Okay. And then we have an only child. You see B, what says selfish. So you'll have to write the answers as I have written here. If the only child, then he becomes selfish. Okay. 26, a child with much older siblings. So option C is independent. Okay. Well, this is what's going on. Then the second part, the answers are given here, and you have to questions at 27 and 28. I need to see reduce the okay. So choose the correct answer, correct letter A, B, C. Three options are given, and you will have to correct the right one. What did the speakers say about the evidence relating to birth order and academic success? The option is some studies have neglected to include important factors such as family size. Then the question is, so what does Ruth think is surprising about the difference in oldest children's academic performance? The answer is, it is mainly It is mainly thanks to their roles as the teachers for their younger siblings. Then the two options that you'll have to make out of the five, A, B, C, D, E. So read it very carefully. Choose the two letters A, E. Which two experiences of sibling rivalry until the speakers agree has been valuable for them? The one is learning to stand up for oneself. The other is learning to be tolerant. Yes, these are two mentioned. Okay, and this is end of the part three in listening section. That was a bit harder, and but yeah, definitely it's not. It's more than test of language. It's you need to be familiar with the type of examination and test, and you need to make necessary practice, and then you do the same test independently if you make a good performance. Okay, good luck with you. Okay, and thank you very much for spending time to watch this video. Hope you liked it. In the end, the formal request, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell button to get the fresh from us. And thank you very much. And goodbye.